On the latest episode of the Bill Barnwell Show, I talked to Daniel Adler about Week 9 of the NFL season. You can check out the show on iTunes or by going to the ESPN app on your phone.
Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. It's Election Day, Tone. Did you head to the polls?
I'm Tony Kornheiser. No, but I danced on one. My regular Tuesday lunch shift.
You know, you're starting to
As a matter of fact,
you're losing viewers.
I am wearing my I voted.
Yeah.
At 10 o'clock this morning, I went over to Lafayette Elementary School where my kids went to school, and I voted in the familiar confines of Lafayette Elementary
Not the friendly confines. The
familiar confines for me. Did you vote?
Paper or
Paper.
electronic?
No, paper.
Paper for me, too.
I asked for paper. Where did you
asked
vote?
for paper?
Yeah, you had
I
a
voted
choice.
right in Bethesda, in my neighborhood. Voted a couple hours before you.
You didn't vote in Chicago or Scottsdale? Really?
Chicago, I'd like to have voted 2-3 times. That would have been
Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Steph Curry sets a record, John Wall gets tossed, and we may have to endure another Pacquiao-Mayweather fight. But we begin today with one of the worst non-calls of the NFL season. Richard Sherman was called for offsides, but not for roughing the kicker, which Dean Blandino acknowledged in-game, was a mistake. It cost Buffalo a short field goal attempt at the end of the first half and changed the strategy of the game. Well, but how badly did the Buffalo Bills get hosed last night in Seattle?
Well, they got hosed. I don't know whether we need to go to how badly they got hosed. I mean, there should have been a penalty for roughing the kicker. Although it's interesting that Richard Sherman did not only go after the ball, he got the ball and turned as he got it, and maybe it looked like he was trying to avoid the kicker. But intent doesn't matter as much as you hit the kicker, you get 15. Long before the NFL decided to protect at all costs the quarterback, it protected the kicker because you were in a vulnerable position.
Totally vulnerable.
So they got hosed.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is Seattle's second time getting the benefit
of the Hail Mary
call
on a Monday night game.
Yeah.
It's the same circumstance again. So if Seattle ever says, we don't get the calls, you would point this out to them. In this particular case, not only is that a very bad call, and I heard Richard Sherman on the interview after the game saying I was going for the ball and I played to the whistle. And I'm not even going to talk about intent.
Photos.
Yeah. And he smashed into the kicker.
If you got to smash into the kicker, you get a penalty, but you blocked the kick.
The kicker then has to leave the game. And when they set up for a field goal, they get a delay of game because the referee's standing over the ball with 2 seconds to go in the clock.
The clock doesn't reset it.
You can't do
this. Back to the kicker. Tony, if you tip the ball in any way, shape, or form, you can then hit the kicker and there's no penalty. So the offsides is fine because he was
But it was whistle blew.
Okay, but the point is, if you get the ball,
fine. But the whistle has blown.
There's no penalty for roughing.
Was it roughing? I say it was complete roughing.
No, you got the ball first.
So that's
offsides.
Not okay. Then it's not a bad call.
It's a penalty.
Well, that's not a bad call then. I think it's a bad call, and you think it's not.
Well, it depends. Tony, we'd have to. Why did
Dean Blandino in game almost
Dean Blandino's not gotten it wrong during the game?
And by the way, let me say this. This happens too often.
What?
Game-changing calls that are wrong, that are admittedly wrong, either in the game or after the game. Because when you win or lose, look, this changes their entire strategy. They have to go for a touchdown when they shouldn't have had to do that.
They should have had 3 extra points. Well, probably. He might have missed the re-kick. He might have missed that.
From 15 yards further in?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So you got to.
Did you watch the Redskins and the Bengals last week miss 28 yards?
So you've got a guy missing a kick from 15 yards further in, and you got no penalty anyway. You got no.
No, you can have a penalty, but if you decide that he touched the ball and there's video evidence he did, then the roughing's off. Just like that.
So you're the one. Okay, good.
Well, I need confirmation
from
you're
the one
you and your ilk.
It's not roughing. Good for you.
You need confirmation from you people. And that means you people on Twitter. We're not done with Seattle yet. The Seahawks visit the Patriots Sunday night. Russell Wilson looks to be recovered from all those leg injuries, which surely helped him complete 20 of 26 passes for 282 yards, pair of touchdowns. A bunch of those passes went to Jimmy Graham, who has emerged as the number one threat in that offense. But Seattle had big trouble with Bills quarterback Tyrod Taylor, who nearly won the game for Buffalo in the end despite all those hosings. Tone, what's your read on the state of the Hawks?
Right now, today, I think they have to be very happy with their offense. They got 31 points last night. That's the second most amount of points they had all year.
We agree. If Russell Wilson's back, he's back.
That's right. And he ran one in, which is a good sign. And it's good that you talked about Jimmy Graham, but I think we have to emphasize this point. Everybody's in love with Gronkowski, and they should be. He's probably the greatest tight end of all time. But Jimmy Graham was always right there with him. He made 2 one-handed catches. He hurdled the guy. So from an offensive standpoint, even going into New England, you say to yourself, that's very good. But defense, even though they're number 3 in the league in terms of points allowed, and that's really great, Cam Chancellor's not there. Michael Bennett's not there. And they gave up a bunch of points to Buffalo. So against Tom Brady, you can't do that.
Well, okay, but Tom Brady's a very different quarterback than Tyrod Taylor.
Yes.
Tyrod Taylor put pressure on that defense.
Moves. Tyrod Taylor moves.
The way he moved and getting out to the edges, Tom Brady doesn't even attempt that in his fantasies. All right, even a guy married to Giselle, he probably has fantasies about getting the ball out there.
You're getting deeper and deeper.
Am I getting deeper?
You want to move off.
What?
Move off this.
The golden
Step
boy,
away from the curve.
He's
on
the
this
MVP.
One. Yeah.
He's not getting out there in Tyrod Taylor land.
Right.
So he doesn't pose the same threat. Bigger threats in other ways because he can throw it to Gronkowski, as you said. And I think that Seattle is okay. They're in okay shape. The state of the Seahawks is they're pretty good. They're not as good as Dallas right now, and nobody else in the NFC is
Here's
really
what
any
is
good.
surprising me, and I know you will say I don't care about this junk, but it mattered to me.
Some phony stat?
No, it's the early line on that game is Seattle +7. That's more than I thought it would be. 7 points seems a lot.
It's a lot.
Bill Belichick will super game plan for this particular game. This is the first time they've played since Russell Wilson threw the pass that will live in infamy forever in the Pacific Northwest in the Super Bowl. This is a game I will watch. I will watch this
Patriots,
one.
you picking them?
You know, aren't you?
Yeah, but you don't like to pick Belichick. You don't like that, do you?
I think they're a better team right now. Remember when Steph Curry went 0 for 10 the other night from 3, 0 for 10, and it was the first time in 158 straight games that he did not hit a 3? Curry came back with a vengeance last night. He had 13 threes, setting a new NBA record. Curry ended up with 46 points as his Warriors beat New Orleans by 10. Wilbon, does it feel now like the Warriors are on track, or was this just a predictable win over a lousy, winless team?
One more time, just for extra emphasis. How many wins exactly? No, I'll let you round up for New Orleans. How many wins?
Right now they have 0.
Okay. So, on track, beating New Orleans right now does nothing. It helps you it's like better than a scrimmage and better than a practice for Steph Curry.
You know what is so great about this discussion?
What?
Yesterday when I said that beating the Cleveland Browns meant nothing,
it's different.
You said
different. They're competitive.
You're so wrong about this.
The Cleveland Browns, for the most part, have been competitive.
They stink.
Okay, they stink. They don't think as much as New Orleans.
They're
They don't think as bad as New Orleans or the Sixers, and you know I'm right.
They're in the ballpark.
No, they're not in the ballpark. It's another park. It's not that park. So the Golden State Warriors, to me, I'm going to look at whether they're on track or not around Christmas, maybe even a little later than that. Maybe mid-January. I want to see where they are. Are they playing in a certain way every night? Are they getting the ball distributed properly in the way they want to Durant? And how many shots is Curry taking? What's his assist level? And they're indicators, Tony, but we're not there yet, and not after win over New Orleans.
Going into this game last night, Steph Curry had not scored 30 points in any one game. Right. And you'd say, whoa, what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is he averaged 30.1 last year.
Who they got now?
They got Durant. Okay. But going from 46 is a big deal to him is my suspicion.
Okay.
Here's what worries me about Golden State. And it's about Durant, but it's not something Durant has done. It's the corollary effect in getting Durant. Andrew Bogut, help me with these names. Andrew Bogut.
Harrison Barnes. Those are best defensive
No,
players.
I'm not talking about Harrison Barnes.
Okay.
Andrew Bogut, Festus Ezeli, and Maurice Spates.
Yeah.
All big and thick.
Yeah.
All gone.
Yeah.
All gone. Replaced by the Slim Reaper. Replaced by a tall, thin guy. Now, that maybe doesn't mean anything against New Orleans.
But it means something against good teams.
Yes,
it did against the San Antonio Spurs on opening night. It did against OKC. Yeah, they don't have any beef, Tony. I told you that from out there the first night. But it's too early to judge Golden State on anything right now.
But that's a worrisome component. That's all I'm saying.
No beef? Yes.
Worrisome
particularly when you get late in the season. Tell this next story
it's
must
not like
give
Arby's
you such
where
anxiety.
we've got the meats.
The beef. They need some Arby's.
Not like that.
Probably in that lineup.
Yeah.
Not only did your boy John Wall get kicked out of a home court loss to drop the Wizards to 1-5, but the Wizards lost to Houston, the team you positively hate.
No. Dwight Howard's gone.
Okay, well, you just hate him a little.
Don't hate him.
Wall bumped my man Mark Davis, St. Ignatius' own, who said after the game he gave Wall the tech for an expletive, not the bump. Tony, you were watching this game, as was I. Did Wall deserve to get chased?
Serendipitously, I was watching this game. I have no idea why, but I landed on that game with about 5 minutes to go.
That's your squad now.
In that last 5 minutes, John Wall had 1 for 2 and 2 points. 2 turnovers that led directly to points for Houston, and he got tossed. Whereas the opposite guy on the floor, James Harden, playing the opposite position, point guard,
kept it going,
had 9 points in that last 5 minutes. So, did he deserve it? Here's the deal. First, he bumps, and he went to your high school, Mark? So you and he are boys, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he bumps him, and then obviously Davis says something to him because Wall turns around over his right shoulder, so you can't see his mouth.
Yeah.
You can't see his mouth, and must have said something.
Magic words?
Well, I was talking on my podcast today, David Aldridge was in, as were you, by the way. And David works for Turner. He covers the game.
Yeah.
And so he says to me that Wall says after the game, all I said was, I didn't bump you. Well, that's not enough to go. That's not the magic word. It's not. That's not the hyphenated magic word. No. That's not the word that ends with
and people didn't know.
That's
There's
not
a couple of minutes left in a game. Now, it wasn't any longer.
Seconds.
But it wasn't close anymore.
Yes,
because it was a 14-0 run.
It was 5 points.
It had been close. It wasn't close then.
Mike, you must have been nodding off. It was 5 points with 33 seconds to go.
That's right, 114.
So I think he deserved it. If the guy you went to high school with tossed him for nothing.
I go with him. I'm a little older than he is.
That's bad.
Mark Davis is rated as one of the top, if not the top,
Who do you
officials
believe in
the
this?
NBA.
Who do you believe in?
You can ask me if I believe a guy who went to my esteemed high school.
Yeah.
John Wall probably said a little something. We don't know. I'd like to call Mark and ask him, but I forgot. I lost his number.
Really?
Yeah. Sorry.
Remember how terrible the Pacquiao-Mayweather fight was when it finally happened in May of 2015? It was dull. It was listless.
Awful.
It was one of the all-time wastes of pay-per-view money.
Fight.
Well, Pacquiao's promoter, Bob Arum, your boy, says he's giving a 75% chance that they're going to fight again, maybe in May of 2017. At that point, Pacquiao will be 38 years old and Mayweather will be 40 years old. Wilbon, is this something you want to see?
I'd like to see it right around 4:30 in the morning when you know I'm struggling to get to sleep. I need something.
I'm wide awake at 4:30.
I need something to get me into the deep REM sleep at that point. Yeah. And this might be that. Because, no, I would not want to see it. It would be a dog. All of Mayweather's fights are dogs. They're dogs. He's great. His fights are dogs. So, no, I don't want to see it. But you know what?
You will.
I would see it.
I'd
pay for it,
and
I would see it.
I won't.
And I'd sleep through it.
My sense of this is that it has that sort of – they were great fighters. You cannot overestimate how great
5-6 years
they were.
ago each and then more.
So if the thing that happened 18 months ago or whenever it was bad, this is going to be worse.
Yes, it is.
It has that grotesque quality of like Rocky VI, in which Rocky is 41 years old or 42 years old, and he's fighting somebody
Aren't we in
from the
Rocky
Netherlands.
Aren't we in that?
We're in the good Rocky.
Okay, well, you just...
We're in, what is the name of the one we're in? The new Rocky.
I don't know.
It's the new Rocky where Sly Stallone is not actually fighting.
Creed, yeah.
And go see it, kids.
Yeah, it's a little late for that. Nice recovery.
But this is going to be, this has that grotesque
This is going to be
feel
so snaky and so oily.
Yeah.
The fact that you give, and you know what they're going to charge you for this? They're going to charge you $100+
because they have to pay off hundreds of millions of dollars to both fighters.
Yes. And each guy has to sign for this because there's too much money.
That's exactly
Either one of us would sign for this much money to fight either one of them. Because you would say, knock me out, I'll go to sleep, and then I'll have $100 million.
Right.
That's what they're going to get.
Right.
So they have to fight. And people are going to watch it because you're going to say, oh, maybe they'll wake up from the dead old age they're in and have a great fight. No.
I'm told we were good in Creed.
Okay,
and I hope we're in the next one. Let's take a break. Coming up, who's had the more impressive season? Dak Prescott or Derek Carr?
Got a trick question? And who's more likely to make it to a second season, Chip Kelly or Hugh Jackson?
Is that a trick question? Yeah.
You know,
a lot of trick. Alvin Gentry? Hello?
I feel bad for Chip Kelly now. I do.
Because he's your boy.
This is Larry Culpepper, inventor of the college football playoff. Goes without saying that I know about a good idea or two when it comes to college football. And the best idea out there is to subscribe to the Championship Drive podcast in the Listen tab of your ESPN app.
The votes won't be counted till later tonight, but we already know who's going to win toss-up.
Thank you very much.
This guy, spoiler alert. What's first?
Toss-up, more impressive season, Dak Prescott or Derek Carr?
With all due respect to Dak Prescott, who's having a great year, I'm going to go with Derek Carr just slightly because I think that Dak Prescott started with more around him than Derek Carr did. Their statistics are remarkably similar. They're both completing 66% of their passes. Prescott has 12 touchdowns and 2 picks. Carr has 17 and 3. I mean, it's really right down the line. And I would take Carr. But if you said to me, you're taking Carr and I have to have Prescott, I'm just as happy.
These are the tiebreakers. You see how many notes I wrote down?
0
notes. Here's what you need to know. Whose team has a better record?
I think Cowboys right now.
Yeah, 7 straight games, 7-1, as good as the Raiders have been. And
started out with more, though.
Who's a rookie and who's not?
Prescott is a rookie.
He's a rookie. Yeah. Derek Carr's in his 3rd year. He's supposed to be better. So if the question is who's more impressive, it's the rookie. It's the guy with nothing under his belt.
Was the question who's more impressive?
Who's more impressive? Dak.
Can we get a producer?
Prescott.
Was the question more impressive?
Yes.
Okay. I lost that one. Next.
Toss-up, more likely to make it to his 2nd season, Chip Kelly or Hugh Jackson?
Chip Kelly has no chance of making it to the 2nd season in San Francisco.
I'm going to give him more than that.
They're going to go 1-15.
No, they're not.
He is going to leave because the coach at Oregon is going to be fired. He is going to be offered that job. He's going to accept that job, even though he said publicly.
He says,
I know what he said.
I'm not interested in college.
You know, you can go broke listening to what people say. Hugh Jackson will probably get a 2nd year because he has no quarterback whatsoever, and this is not his fault. But Kelly is not going to be there next year.
Hugh Jackson's going to get a 2nd year. Kelly seems to be in more trouble, but he said he's not interested in college to sort of knock that Oregon story down
that
for
doesn't
a little
mean
bit.
anyone. That doesn't mean the San Francisco 49ers is interested in him.
Is it possible that Kelly could say, you know what, the other college jobs out there, the other pro jobs out there, do I need to go back to Oregon? Do you go back?
Why not? He had great success, and they love him there.
Can you have the same success once you
both owners that we're talking
like
about are trigger-happy guys.
Yeah, but
they fire you after 1 year. They've done it.
Not gone after 1 year. He's staying.
Next.
1 more year, at least.
Toss-up, bigger threat to the Warriors, the Clippers or the Thunder?
Well, this is interesting because you're on the record as saying that the Oklahoma City Thunder will make the Western Championship. So I assume you're not going to back away from that. And I assume you have them against Golden State, but maybe you don't. Maybe you got Golden State out of it. I would say that right now, though both teams are 6-1, I would say that over the long haul, I think the Clippers might be a little bit better because I don't know that Westbrook can win every single game.
Their best record, too. It's a franchise.
But by May, San Antonio, even though the Clippers beat San Antonio in San Antonio, but by May, San Antonio will be better than both of them.
Wow, I mean, San Antonio might be better than both of them right now. I did say OKC. I
said
2 things.
You're not going to backslide.
The only predictions I had were actually 3. Russell Westbrook will be the MVP. OKC will get to the conference finals.
Right.
And either Cleveland or Golden State will not get to the finals.
So
one of them won't make it.
Which one are you saying?
I don't know. It's early for that. But, I'm rooting.
Way to tease the people. Next.
Good tease.
Last one, toss-up. Which team will finish with more wins, the 1-4 T-Wolves or the 4-3 Lakers?
It'll be the T-Wolves because I'm not at the point now where I can look at a team with D'Angelo Russell and Nick Swaggy Young and trust them over the long haul. Though I will say Luke Walton looks like he knows what he's doing.
We think he knows what
It's going to be Minnesota because nobody and
better talent.
The Lakers are they're improved because Kobe is gone. It's a different deal.
It's not because
sure it is. It's cause and effect. It's cause and effect. But nobody's as good as Karl Anthony Towns.
Karl Anthony Towns,
nobody's as good.
If you put all the players from those 2 teams on a court, shirts and skins, Karl Anthony Towns is the best and the second and the third best. And he is coming, the way he's coming along as a player, and they both seem well coached. We expected that from Tibbs. You're hoping from Luke, because Luke had some audition at Golden State.
Thibodeau will also try to win every game.
And they'll get going. 1-4 doesn't make a big difference now.
That's it. Let's take one last break. Still to come. You thought baseball season was over.
It is.
Tim Tebow has something to say about that.
Arizona League. And are the Cavaliers looking at the first loss of the season? Theirs tonight.
So it's sort of gutless to say that either Cleveland or Golden State won't make it, and then not say which one.
Anybody else out there saying that? No. Everybody else is saying they'll both make it. I'm saying one.
Everybody else is saying it's roughing, and you're not.
Well, I'm tough.
You're out there on an island.
Tough guy.
College football lives here. After a devastating loss to Mississippi State last week, Texas A&M looks to bounce back against Ole Miss.
Intercepted!
The Rebels begin the post-Chad Kelly era after losing the quarterback for the season.
Here's the snap, 4th and goal. Oh, they got the quarterback tied up, breaks a tackle. Stiff arm, down he goes! Down he goes!
Coverage begins Saturday at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app.
Pardon the Interruption is presented by the Brewers of Guinness. Please drink responsibly. Part of Happy Hour.
Happy time. People, happy 27th birthday, Giancarlo Stanton. The most expensive player in baseball history was again plagued by injury. Stanton played in only 119 games for the Marlins this year, hit only 27 home runs. But as you can see in this picture, he is floating in the Dead Sea, hoping to stay healthy and buoyant in 2017.
That'll help you stay healthy. Why wouldn't you do it? Go to the Red Sea, read a newspaper?
It's the Dead Sea.
Oh, I thought it was the Red Sea.
No, it's the Dead Sea.
Oh, okay. Like
Happy anniversary, Don Shula. On this day 35 years ago, Shula won his 200th NFL game on the way to setting the league record at 328. The closest active coach to Shula is Bill Belichick with 230 today. Well, Von Belichick has to win 98 more games. He's 64, and Brady is leaving eventually. Do you think he can catch Shula?
He could, Tony, but I don't think – does Belichick seem like the guy who would stay around for that?
No.
Not to me.
Not for records.
No, I don't think so.
Happy trails to the Mesa Solar Sox. They were beaten last night by a walk-off nub single by the Scottsdale Scorpions.
Yeah, get Mesa out of here.
And this would be of no interest to anyone outside Arizona had the batter hitting the single not been Tim Tebow. With that hit, his 5th single in 6 Arizona Fall League hits, Tebow jacked his batting average all the way up to 146. Wilbon, your thoughts?
We in Scottsdale don't like Mesa. And we don't like the Glendale Desert Dogs. Big matchup Friday. Maybe I might just find my way to the ballpark.
Oh, this could be Mike Wilbon bobblehead night.
No, I don't want that.
Now, this could be great.
Like to see Tim
no
Tebow
errors
play
today. Let's go to the big
Let's
catch.
do it.
Hawks at the Cavs tonight. Is this the first loss of the season for the Cavaliers?
No. Jordan Spieth cutting down his schedule in 2017 in an attempt to win more. This is a good plan.
Not necessarily. I mean, if you want to win more, start winning.
When he was winning.
Start winning with one. Tiger won for 10 years, won everything in sight. Why limit all your chances? I don't know that this necessarily. Do you think? I don't know. Mike Tomlin says he would allow Chris Boswell to try his Rabona onside kick again. Are you surprised by that?
A little. But if he tries it again and fails again, then get out. Kick her out.
Did you like when he tried to do it?
Texas A&M quarterback Trevor Knight out for the season. Shoulder injury. Is that a big deal?
He's good. He's good. They're done without him. And they might have been done anyway. They're done without him. Last one, college football playoff rankings come out tonight. Any surprises?
I got Michigan going up to 2nd, and I got Washington going up to 4th. I wouldn't call those surprises, but that is movement, right?
Yeah. We're out of time. Try and do better the next time. I'm Tony Kornheiser.
I'm Mike Wilbon. Same time tomorrow, Knuckleheads. Check out the PTI podcast on iTunes.
Go vote. The polls haven't closed yet. Not everybody gets a chance to vote in the world. Go vote.
Now. Right now. Go.
PTI.
The North Carolina Tar Heels head to Durham to face their fiercest rivals, the Duke Blue Devils. Touchdown! Coverage begins Thursday at 6:30 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Presented by Dr. Pepper.